All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is now 4:45 on the dot. We will now resume our January the 28th City Council meeting. Now moving into our order of business. Have no ordinances on final reading. Ordinances on first reading. Madam Clerk, 8A, please.
Which version would you like for me to read?
I'm sorry?
Which version?
Alternate version, please.
An ordinance closing and abandoning the unopened right-of-way in the 300 block of Van Street as detailed on the attached map subject to certain conditions.
Council, Vice Chair Hill.
Council, I'm happy to say that we have worked through all the issues with this, and we will have a conservation easement in place preserving trees and steep slopes for all the little critters that live in District 2. So I move to approve.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve 8A with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. That motion does carry. And before I go any further, I'd like to say I appreciate Judge Sherry Patey for being here with us this afternoon to swear in our new appointee. Thank you for being here. Moving now to 8B, Madam Clerk.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone property located at 2659 Glass Street from RN15 residential neighborhood zone to CTMU transitional mixed-use commercial zone.
And just for the record, that was the alternate version.
Yes.
All right. Councilwoman Coonrod? I'm sorry. This is first reading, right? Case 2024-0192, is the applicant present? Okay. Is there any opposition present? Okay. Councilwoman Coonrod, I see an applicant with some opposition. Would you like a presentation? Okay. Karen? Hold on one second, sir. We're going to get a presentation from RPA, and then applicant will have 7 minutes.
This is a request to rezone 2659 Glass Street from RN15 Residential Neighborhood Zone to CTMU, Transitional Mixed Use Commercial Zone. The proposed use is mixed use. There was opposition, both opposition and support at Planning Commission. There's no recent zoning history for the site. The light yellow on the map is that RN15. That's the transitional equivalent zone from the RN1. There was rezoning to RTZ for townhomes to the southeast. Those haven't been developed. There were some conditions on that. And the proposed use at the time of the application was 4 units, but the applicants can speak to any changes there. So this portion of Glass Street is 2 blocks west of Campbell Street. So this is east of the rest of the Glass Street corridor. The site's vacant, surrounded largely by single-unit residential detached uses. So the staff found that the request is not compatible with adopted historic river to ridge plan. The Area 3 plan recommends an urban residential place type for the site. It does say there's opportunities to introduce kind of neighborhood retail services. There are some pros that would support this. Glass Street is a major street. This is located on an intersection at that major street. But overall, staff found that the proposal is too distant from the rest of the commercial corridor and consists primarily of secondary uses. So staff recommended denial as this introduces a non-residential use into a primarily residential neighborhood. As mentioned, there was opposition and support, both President Planning Commission. Planning Commission did determine after the hearing, and there was a deferral, quite a bit of discussion at Planning Commission, a deferral at Planning Commission. At the second hearing, Planning Commission determined the request is compatible with the plan, and this comes with a recommendation to approve the CTMU by Planning Commission.
All right, any questions for staff? All right, thank you, Karen. All right, at this time, the applicant will have 7 minutes to present their case. The opposition will have a total of 9 minutes, and then the applicant will have a 2-minute rebuttal. So if the applicant would like to come forward, you will have 7 minutes. Just give us your name and then go ahead.
Yes, sir. Edward Henley. Appreciate the opportunity to address the council. Thank the work of staff, also the community that's been engaged and the community that's present here, and also the vote of confidence from the Planning Commission. The parcel that you all see highlighted here is, I think, a fantastic opportunity to realize the potential on Glass Street. We have had quite a amount of effort, myself as well as Michael Kenner, in trying to secure property along Glass Street. It is a great opportunity for a lot of commercial activity. We've had a lot of engagement where it has been expressed that there's a desire for more vitality, for more commercial opportunities. But some of those properties are tied up with owners that do not desire to make transactions. And so this is an opportunity that we have had to secure property. We do think that for some of the things that were highlighted by staff, such as being on the major corridor, being at a corner, it does provide certain opportunities. And we do think it helps meet some of the visions that we have had expressed to us by the community. I think there's always a need for additional housing opportunities and unique housing opportunities that's been considered for this site, but also creating a commercial pulse for that community. I think it's important that the message is sent to the community that there's a desire to invest in that community. There's been many years, seems like from talking to some of the communities, even decades, from having that type of spirit of investment and value in that community. One of the things that I've aspired to do, and we've had a lot of conversations with the community about, is how to start to build some of that momentum in the community. I think there's a great opportunity here on this side. I think there's a lot of great opportunities in that community. They may not be recognized by everyone who goes through the community, but I've been told I have a good eye. And so I think that one of the things that we see happening here is not only taking advantage of a uniquely shaped parcel, a uniquely positioned parcel, a unique opportunity on a mostly commercial corridor, but it also starts to create a gateway and a bookend that starts to speak to what that community could be, creates a sense of place. And also it gives an opportunity for developers such as myself and others that may have an interest in entering that community, a great opportunity to set a good example. And that's what is requested of you all here, is to work with us, see that vision. Hopefully the sentiments of the Planning Commission are heard. The positive support from the community is heard. I think a lot of the comments and recommendations from staff have been heard as the plan has modified. And I feel like there's a great opportunity for this to be an example for even greater investment in that community. I'll save the remainder of time.
Any questions for the applicant at this time? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the opposition will have a total of 9 minutes. I only saw one hand, so I guess the 9 minutes is yours.
Anybody else opposed, can y'all raise your hand?
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay, all right.
I'm gonna talk for a few minutes. If y'all wanna speak, let me know.
Sure, if anybody else wants to speak, you can certainly divide up your time. All right, give us 9 minutes, Mr. IT, thank you.
Thank you again for listening to the concerns of the community regarding the rezoning of 2659 Glass Street, which would significantly change the composition of the residential neighborhood located at the top end of Glass Street. The additional time has brought forth even more compelling concerns from the immediate community that live in the area that would experience all aspects should this exception be granted. Everyone is in support of the community growing and improving, including myself. This revitalization project, headed up by Mr. Kenner and his private equity backing, is already underway. He is already moving forward with the lots down the street in the commercial corridor. I believe 2 or 3 of them just recently got approved, which is where this activity belongs and received no opposition. He recently secured another property just down the street, he told me last week. We're excited to see some energy and money put into East Chattanooga. Mr. Kenner said he's developing 240 acres in this area. This residential lot is 0.17, or up there a minute ago I saw 0.14. It's not even 1/5 of 1 acre. Mr. Kenner is developing 240 acres. His success in revitalizing this part of town does not rely on turning 2659 Glass Street into commercial property. It will have little to no impact to his plans and success. The support he has brought always speaks of grocery store, agri-hoods, and employment opportunities. Everyone is in agreement that those would be beneficial to the area. This is less than 1/5 of an acre of a lot in a residential area that is not, he's not requesting the agri-hood be put on this small parcel. He's also not requesting for a grocery store to be put on this parcel. And the last plan was a 700 square foot footprint with a single family household residence above it. So in terms of employment opportunities, it's going to be very limited, if any, because the person above may actually be the employee. There was a meeting at the Bohemian last week, and initially everyone enjoyed the excitement of the money and attention being put into this area. But by the end of the meeting, people were asking, is this being done to help our community? Or is this for some sort of out-of-town investors? And I think 2 or 3 times someone specifically said California. Thought that was a good question. They also voiced concerns about being priced out of their own neighborhood once property becomes unaffordable and property taxes follow suit. They also brought attention to the misconception of affordable housing, and there was a lot of discussion around median income and what is truly affordable housing. Dr. Everlina Holmes even detailed out how the meetings for Plan Chattanooga, the several hundred-page document that we spent, I believe, somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.5 to $2 million on when you include staff time. She was active in the involvement of that plan. That agreed that the residential should remain residential. Plan Chattanooga is the current active draft from the community feedback. I believe it references it was developed over 18 months in countless community events to get feedback. This is not the old plan. Page 154 even states this chapter serves as an update to the previous plan. A couple weeks ago, I walked you through Plan Chattanooga with about 10 references to where it says, do not put commercial in the residential section. The community located closest to this lot says no. Councilwoman Coonrod has sat with residents and received many emails who passionately disapprove of this, some of which are here today. The RPA staff outlined why they didn't feel it was a good fit and recommended denial. Plan Chattanooga, the document itself, is very clear that this activity belongs down the street. The fact is, Mr. Kenner is kicking off the revitalization efforts, and this lot almost has no bearing on his ability to accomplish his goal and provide an acceptable return to his private equity investors. My last attempt is to provide more community feedback in hopes you will hear the community and vote to deny.
All right, would you stop the clock? Anyone else in opposition that would like to speak?
And am I able to hand out a document?
If
Last
Councilwoman
week,
Coonrod would
we
like to.
talked about conditions, and
But if you're going to continue to speak, I need to turn the clock back on.
all right.
If this lady would like to speak, let her go ahead and speak.
Hi, my name is Lakeisha Kennemore, and I actually stay at 2657, which is right next door. And I just wanted to say, I'm okay with it building up and wouldn't mind seeing a house or townhomes, but I was just concerned with it being commercial, because down the street, commercial brings in a lot of violence and negative activity, so I'm just concerned about my kids' safety, the bus stop situations, it's a daycare, maybe 3 or 4 houses down. So I'm just concerned about my kids and the safety, the parking. So I would like to keep it residential, but not commercial.
Okay. Anyone else that would like to speak in opposition? All right.
Good afternoon. Excuse me, my name is Willette Sexton, and I thank you for this opportunity to hear my opinion. I reside at 2730 Glass Street, and I actually spoke to this gentleman a few minutes ago, and my concern is with just what the young lady just finished saying, with all the businesses that are down there already, we have quite a bit of crime, trash, transportation. The transportation up and down Glass Street is very, very busy. And I'm concerned, I have grandchildren, and I'm concerned about if we bring another commercial building into the community, that's going to bring more traffic. And I'm concerned about when they're outside playing, as well as we already have enough of policemen, ambulances coming up and down the street because of the violence that these commercial businesses are bringing. So that is my concern as to why I oppose of it becoming commercial instead of residential.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else in opposition that would like to speak? Still got about a minute left. All right, Mr. Henley, if you want to use up the minute.
The document I handed out the other day, I thought, I want to understand if the local residents that will see the impacts of this, not people a mile away, half mile away. I walked from this property, which has a black X on it, up to the right side where the light on Campbell is. I hit every house. Several people weren't home. I've circled in red everyone that has signed page 2, which does not want this to turn commercial. They want it to remain residential. We talked about conditions. I included conditions in the event we feel like this is critical for the success of the revitalization, which again, I think a fifth of an acre and 240 acres in an area that's not zoned for this, where you're getting a considerable amount of feedback. These people can see this lot from their yard. And then the last page was from planning, where I had outlined some of the things: animal care facility, a dog care, domestic violence
Okay, thank you,
shelter,
Mr. Henley.
private
Your
social
time has
club.
expired, thank you.
All right, sorry. You have any questions for
No,
me?
well, Councilman Ledford, is that for Mr. Henley or
City Attorney.
City Attorney? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. This is the second full presentation we have seen on this, obviously coming through Planning Commission, and I believe each time I've heard that there were conditions coming out of the community meetings. Do you have any conditions assigned to the alternate version, Mr. Attorney?
No, sir, not at this point.
Thank you.
All right.
And I believe he has 2 more minutes.
The applicant, yeah, yeah. Okay, applicant, you do have a 2-minute rebuttal.
Hello, council members. Michael Kenner, 114 Eveningside Drive. What we're trying to do is take a holistic approach to what East Chattanooga has said that they wanted and need. Yes, I have 240 acres currently under contract. I do not own them. My private equity doesn't come out of California. It's local to Tennessee and Chattanooga specific, and it's impact investing. So everything we do is to make a difference within the community. The 240 acres we have got is to create income to actually help feed into the Glass Street community. Out of all of our community engagements and charrettes, every member that showed up said that they thought Glass Street needed to be commercial from one end to the next. If you turn off Campbell onto Glass Street, and then you have this commercial presence when you get there, it gives you the opportunity, as my business partner said, to feel like you're pulling into a vibrant commercial corridor. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to revitalize Glass Street to bring it back to the vitality it once had, or even better. And so this building will be, literally, it's a single structure. It's 3 stories. It will have 700 square foot retail space on the first floor. I've got a meeting with the Launchpad to try and work with some of their entrepreneurs to actually place brick and mortar businesses there, because that's part of our mission, is to work on the displacement that can happen when development comes in. And so all of that is done to say that there's a lot of intentionality. I'm not just buying this because it's 0.17 acres and I'm going to force my will on the community. I contracted this because this is what the community said that they wanted, and this is what I'm trying to bring forth. So I really appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate all your patience. I appreciate all the extra community meetings. Councilwoman Coonrod, thank you very much.
Well, you got 8 seconds.
I just want to encourage, I've been in these positions before. I've seen plenty of initiatives fall flat because they can't get momentum. Please consider this
All right,
opportunity.
thank you, your time's up. Councilwoman Coonrod. Hit your lot for me.
We didn't ask, was anybody here that supports it, other than Michael Kenner, and anybody here supporting it, or not everybody just against it, or just want to make sure? Okay, well, I want to add some conditions on there too. And my question to the city attorney, are we able to limit the hours of operation to an establishment, to the commercial?
You can have a specific hour of operation designation if you want to, not after a certain time, yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, so I want to add the following conditions to have the hours of operations between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30.
Okay, so the first thing we'll have to do is get a motion on the floor to approve it,
And then amend it, okay?
and then we'll amend it.
Okay, I move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve. Do I have a second? Got a second? Okay. We have a motion on the floor to approve with a second. Would you hit your light again, Councilwoman? Okay, all right. Now, would you like to make an amendment?
Yes, I got a list that he provided. So the hours of operations between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. No unpleasant noise, odors of lighting. No the age-specific businesses, sales, service, or products, so to include but not limited to smoking, alcohol, lottery, tobacco, tattoo, CBD, sex-related products or services. No animal care facilities with outdoor area. No animal care facilities fully indoors. No daycare centers. No eating and drinking establishments, so I assume alcohol-related. No lodge or private social club, no medical, dental office clinic, micro production of alcohol. I'm trying to read it, and he got up here. No outdoor sales and display. Is that what you're meaning? No mobile food vendors. The additional one, no, just so we said the alcohol, no animal care, no outdoor amplifications of sound. I think that covers everything that he said. That's it. Yeah, I named all those first. Oh, yeah, the retail sale of alcohol, yeah, I said that. Oh, no domestic violence shelter and no vehicle repair service shop.
Mr. Attorney, you want to read those conditions back to make sure that we have them all listed?
Yes, sir, I'm trying right now to finish what I have. At least on my list on here, there were the hours of operation between 7:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes,
And I had no animal care facilities.
yes, that's on this list.
And no eating and drinking establishments which have the sale of alcohol.
Yes, that's what he asked for.
No mobile food vendors.
Yes,
And no outdoor amplification businesses.
yes,
And then no domestic violence or vehicle repair centers.
and no domestic violence center and no vehicle repair centers.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and then the lottery.
Okay, I missed that
tobacco,
one.
Yeah, lottery, tobacco, tattoo shops, CBD, sex stores.
No lottery, CBD, or sex. Why don't we say adult-oriented establishments?
That's it.
Okay.
And did you get the no animal care facilities,
Yes, ma'am.
indoor, outdoor?
Sir, we've got a motion on the floor, and this is under discussion with the council. It's just, hold on, sir. Okay, you good on those?
Yeah, let me make sure I didn't miss no other what he had the X's on here. Did you get the no lodge private social club?
No social clubs?
Yeah, lodge or social clubs, no medical or dental offices. He gave me a book of different stuff.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
I have 8 total conditions.
Okay. I do have, a question. Councilman Ledford.
Yes, sir, I do have a question. Given that these lists of conditions are quite heavy and constricting, I would like to hear from the applicant if this is even acceptable. But we are in the middle of a motion, so I will stand on that if it passes with a second on the amendment motion.
I mean, I guess you could just ask him if he's okay with it, but I would rather not bring him back to the podium since we're in deliberation.
I'll take a yes or no, sir.
Okay. Applicant, are you good with these conditions? Yes or no?
I would like to request
Just,
referral.
yes or no?
No.
Okay, thank you.
The applicant is not, has indicated he is not okay with the conditions. So we do have a motion on the floor to amend. Councilwoman Hill.
Based on what Councilwoman Coonrod read and what the city attorney recorded, I am concerned that the motion doesn't fully reflect her request, because I think you said you had 8 things, and I'm counting 13 things. So that's a concern I have. I don't think we're all the way there, Councilwoman Coonrod, if that's the direction you decide you want to move.
Okay.
I think we can get there, but I think, would you like me to hand him this highlighted?
That's what he should have.
Okay.
Plus the additional
Councilwoman Coonrod,
ones.
before I ask for a second on the amendment, I'm going to ask you, would you like to withdraw the motion to amend and ask for a deferral?
You asking me or him?
I'm asking you.
I mean, do you want to withdraw, or, because I'm ready to move forward, it either going to pass or not. So, well, it's up to the applicant. Would you rather withdraw?
Councilwoman Coonrod, I think at this point, the decision's up to you. We can defer, we can obviously withdraw, or we can go ahead and see if we get a second on the amendment.
Well,
If the amendment fails, then it just goes back to the original version.
right.
So what is your pleasure at this time?
Honestly, I'm tired of discussing it.
Okay?
To tell you the truth, it's,
So you want to move forward with the amendment?
but I'll tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna just, we'll table it.
Well, so let's withdraw
After March the
withdraw your motion to amend,
I withdraw my motion to amend.
okay? And then we will need to withdraw the motion to approve. We had a motion on the floor to approve with a second.
You had a motion to amend, there was no motion to approve.
Council, we had a motion to
We approved
approve
it.
with a second.
Yes.
To get it onto the floor. Correct. We need to withdraw that motion now as well.
In order, yeah.
Because Councilwoman Coonrod wants to table it.
Cause he's saying,
Well, that is true. Table takes precedence.
Yep.
So at this time, would you like to make a motion to table?
my motion to table.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor to table. Do we have a second? All right, we have a motion on the floor to table with a proper second. Questions or comments about the motion to table? All in favor, aye.
Mr. Chair?
Oh, Councilman Ledford, yeah.
I'm
you did
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I would maybe reverse engineer this and go and meet with Mr. Kenner and try to figure out what you can allow versus what you can't allow. It might be much easier and uncumbersome for LDO to enforce, a lot easier, so to speak, than trying to list all the no's and find out what you can and what is acceptable, is my suggestion from this seat.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, now we have a motion on the floor to table with a proper second. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. Okay. This item is tabled, and Councilwoman Coonrod, you can bring this up off the table at whatever time.
After March the 4th.
Okay. All right.
Let somebody else do it.
Madam Clerk, moving now to 8C.
An ordinance to approve corrections to the official zoning map.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Move to approve.
Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
You have a second, sir.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve 8C with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Motion to approve does carry. Councilman Ledford?
Thank you. Karen, I know I saw you somewhere. There you are. I was on GIS yesterday and noticed we still have the label under construction, so to speak. So when will that be lifted?
Hopefully this afternoon. So you're correct. We push out the zoning map through Hamilton County GIS, and that's also on Chattanooga.gov. And we've been meeting with them. We should be pushing out, to my knowledge, today or this afternoon is when we're hoping to do that. So I can send the council to email to let them know.
Would you let us know when GIS is released?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
We do have an online map on our website, but most people I know access that
Yeah.
to Hamilton County GIS. But yes, we was hopefully going live today.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman.
Moving now into resolutions. Madam Clerk, 9A, please.
A resolution authorizing the mayor and his designee to enter into a second agreement to exercise option to renew with Dynamo Studios and substantially the form attached for the use of a certain space at South Chattanooga Community Center located at 1151 West 40th Street, further identified as tax map number 155ON001.03 for an additional term through March 14, 2026.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Ayes have it. 9B, please.
A resolution of the City Council of the City of Chattanooga approving policies and procedures for payment in lieu of tax transactions and consistent with such policies and procedures, delegating to the Industrial Development Board of the City of Chattanooga the authority to negotiate and accept payments in lieu of ad valorem taxes with respect to certain projects to be located in the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and finding that such payments are deemed to be in furtherance of the public purposes of the Industrial Development Board of the City of Chattanooga as defined in Tennessee Code annotated section 753-305.
Madam Vice Chair, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you. This is important work, and it is good work that is moving forward, but we need to defer it for 2 weeks until February 11th. I make that in the form of a motion to defer.
Councilman Ledford?
Mr. Chair, thank you. I'll second that.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to defer until February the 11th with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. Motion to defer carries. 9C.
A resolution to amend City Council Resolution Number 31535 dated March 28, 2023 for Tennessee American Water's purchase of a 20-foot wide easement from the City of Chattanooga and Hamilton County to be amended from a total of 2,950 linear feet or 58,990 square feet to a total of 4,039 linear feet or 80,790 square feet, resulting in an amendment from 1.35 acres to 1.85 acres with a revised appraised value and purchase price from $55,000 to $68,570, with all proceeds to be divided equally with Hamilton County, and to authorize the mayor or its designee to enter into an agreement for easement with Tennessee American Water, essentially the form attached, and to execute any additional documents necessary to consummate the transaction.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve 9C with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. So moved. 9D, please.
A resolution to make certain findings relating to the Novanix Enterprise South LLC project, to authorize the city mayor to enter into and execute a real estate purchase and sale agreement relative to the sale of approximately 182.39 acres known as the Special Legislative Area Main Manufacturing Area, parcel 1.02, 182.39 acres of the Enterprise South Industrial Park, and authorizing the city mayor to execute a deed upon other necessary closing documents conveying said property to the purchaser identified in the sale agreements defined below upon the sale price by the purchaser, to delegate certain authority to the Industrial Development Board of the City of Chattanooga, and to delegate certain authority to the Industrial Development Board of the City of Chattanooga, and to authorize the mayor to enter into and execute an agreement for payments in lieu of ad valorem taxes.
Councilman Smith, followed by Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As stated earlier today, I would like to move to defer this until March 11th.
I'll second that, Chair.
All right. Have a motion on the floor to approve 9D till March the 11th with a proper second. Any other questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. The ayes have it. Madam Clerk, let's take 9E and F together as a package, please.
Yes. Item E, a resolution authorizing the Family Justice Center to apply for a continuation of funds and, if awarded, accept an amount not to exceed $200,000 from Hamilton County government to support the services provided to victims living within Hamilton County. Item F, a resolution authorizing the mayor and his designee to enter into a recipient agreement with the Chattanooga Chamber Foundation for the Quality Matters Fund, QMF, with Chattanooga 2.0 for an amount not to exceed $131,467.86.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve items 9E and F with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. That motion does carry. 9G, please.
A resolution renaming the auditorium in the John A. Patton Community Center to the Jerry Walls Auditorium.
Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do believe this is in your district, and without objection, I'd like to move approval on your behalf.
I'd be very pleased. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, no. That motion does carry. Thank you all so much. Moving now to 9H.
A resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with Romo, Clapper, and Call LLP, RK&K, relative to city contract number T15032-101 for professional services to perform design services for Highway 58, SR 58, bike pedestrian facilities to include sidewalks, ADA accessibility, curb and gutter drainage, and pedestrian improvements for an amount of $739,920.
Pleasure. Oh, Councilman Hester.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Questions or comments? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Ayes have it. Moving now to purchases, Ms. Talley.
Good evening, council. We have 4 purchases recommended for approval this evening. The first one is for street maintenance. This is a one-time purchase of rock salt for roadways from Compass Minerals America in the amount of $274,440. This purchase will be utilizing the state of Tennessee contract. Number 2 is for fleet. Fleet has requested an increase of $100,000 for Fleet Corps due to the higher anticipated usage. The new estimated annual spend will be $315,000. Number 3 is for facilities. Facilities has requested an increase of $150,000 with King Door Company due to unforeseen door repairs citywide. The new estimated annual spend will be $300,000. And number 4 is for fire. This is a one-time purchase of an air compressor from Municipal Emergency Services in the amount of $104,901.45. This purchase will be utilizing the Sourcewell contract.
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve with a proper second. Are there any questions? All in favor, aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving into committee reports. Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilwoman Knoll.
No report, Mr. Chair.
Councilwoman Dotley.
No report.
Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Next week, on February 4th, we will have a budget amendment public hearing. No further reports.
Councilman Ledford.
We'll have next week on February 4th an even better committee, more fun, planning and zoning.
Thank you. Councilman Hester.
We will have the fabulous part of Public Works next week, too.
All right. Councilwoman Hill.
No report, Mr. Chair.
All right. I would like to take just a brief moment to recognize or acknowledge the passing of Coach Lerone Jennings this past week. He was a long-time public servant, put many hours in for the city of Chattanooga, and he will be greatly missed. But we wanted to recognize him. All right, at this time, we will move into other business and the nomination and vote for District 6 interim appointee. So at this time, I'm going to open the floor for nominations for the District 6 interim appointee. Councilwoman Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will say, I think that the people of District 6 are very fortunate to have had strong leadership and to have some really strong candidates on the ballot. And I look forward to a spirited debate about the future of District 6 and its representation. That said, I do believe we need someone in this seat who can carry on and offer continuity until the end of the term. And so I nominate Jenny Burrs.
All right. Jenny Burrs is now nominated for the District 6 interim appointee. Councilman Ledford.
Mr. Chair, once a nomination has been placed, do you need further nominations as far as if it's the same one?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Do you need any other nominations if one is already on the floor?
No, if it's the same one, no.
Okay, then
I'm at this point, I'm listening for another name.
Yes, sir. I yield.
Okay. Any other nominations from the floor? Okay. Mark Holland is nominated for the District 6 seat. Any other nominations?
Jean Gregory.
Councilwoman No?
Jean Gregory.
Jen Gregory is nominated for the District 6 interim appointee. That is all three of the applicants. I'm going to ask for a motion to close nominations. All right. Without objections, we will close nominations. At this time, Madam Clerk, would you read the nominations for the interim position?
You just wanted me to read the name and whether,
Read all three names at this time that has been nominated.
yes, Jenny Burrs, Mark Holland, Jen Gregory.
Okay. All right, at this time, we will take a roll call vote. You will choose from one of the three names. We will, if no one person receives a majority of vote, top two vote getters will go through a second round, okay? Any questions about the vote process? All right, Madam Clerk, if you would, let's begin with a roll call for these three nominations.
Councilwoman Coonrod?
Name?
Yeah, you'll state the name of the person that you are voting for.
Holland.
Okay?
Councilwoman O?
Jean Gregory.
Councilwoman Dudley?
Jenny Burrs.
Councilman Hester?
Jenny Burrs.
Councilman Ledford?
Jean Burrs.
Councilman Smith?
Jean Burrs.
Vice Chair Hill?
Jenny Burrs.
Chair Henderson?
Jenny Burrs.
That was 6 votes for Jenny Burrs, 1 for Gregory and 1 for Holland.
So Jenny Burrs receives the majority of the votes. Well, I can't call you councilwoman yet because you're not sworn in. But Ms. Burrs, would you come to the podium? And at this time, we're going to ask Judge Patey to swear you in.
I'll get a pen from you too. All right, if you will raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Jenny Burrs,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States of
of the
America
United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
and the Constitution of the State of Tennessee,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
uprightly, and honestly
uprightly, and honestly
demean myself
demean myself
as a council person of the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee,
as a council person of the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee,
during my continuance in office,
during my continuance in office,
and that I possess all the qualifications
that I possess all of the qualifications,
and that I am free from all of the disqualifications
and I am free from all of the disqualifications
prescribed by the charter of the city
prescribed by the charter of the city
for the office of councilperson,
for the office of councilperson,
and that I will without fear,
and I will without fear,
partiality, or favor
partiality, or favor
faithfully discharge and perform
faithfully discharge or perform
all of the duties
all of the duties
that may be prescribed by law
that may be prescribed by law
upon me as a councilperson of the city,
upon me as a councilperson of the city,
or as may be required
or as may be required
by any ordinance or resolution
by any ordinance or resolution
of the City Council
of the City Council
of the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee,
of the City of Chattanooga, Tennessee,
so help me God.
so help me God.
It's a long one. See, I'll get you to just, I guess, print your name there and then just sign.
Councilwoman Burrs, would you come join us in the District 6 seat? Welcome to the dais.
Thank you.
Anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, council members. Thank you for everybody that's here today.
Hit your light so that we can hear you.
Where am I? Sorry.
First lesson in learning how to speak as a council person.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Can you hear me now? I just wanted to say thank you for all of the support. I really look forward to working with everybody. I agree with Vice Chair Hill that we have some great people that really care about this district. And I really look forward, at least for the next nine months, representing the district and working with everybody. So thank you all for your vote of confidence. I look forward to working with you.
All right. At this time, we come to the place on our agenda that we recognize persons wishing to address the council. Do we have anybody that would like to address the council this afternoon? If so, we're going to ask the attorney if he would read the rules to address the council.
Yes, sir. And at the end of each council business meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public who wish to address the council. And here's your rules. Each speaker wishing to address the council can only be recognized at the microphone up front for that purpose. Can't have more than 3 minutes to speak, and you can address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority and not on matters which are not under the authority of the council and which are regulated by other governmental bodies or agencies. Do not engage in vulgar or obscene language nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others. And you should address the comments to the council as a whole and not towards individual council members. And lastly, do not engage in disorderly conduct or disrupting a public meeting, which is prohibited by Tennessee law, and someone commits that offense if a person substantially obstructs or interferes with the meeting by physical action or verbal utterance with the intent to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting or gathering. Having stated those rules, go ahead, Mr. Bell.
Well, thank you. Council Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the gray-haired fox, the man with the truly yellow voice. 727 East 11th Street. Before I go further, I'd like to say congratulations to my schoolmate.
Thank you, sir.
My friend. Look forward to seeing your sister. In the meantime and in between time, I had asked during the recess if I could play a recording. Didn't get that question to you, Mr. Chair.
As long as you don't go over 3 minutes, time is yours.
It will go over 3 minutes.
We can't allow that.
We'll wait until Black History Month. Does the city council have more power than the court system when deciding cases? The answer is no. Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, gray-haired fox, in docket number 19C, 1049, and 19C 1113, has defeated the entire 11th Judicial District Court. Let me talk about this recording that I hope to play next week. It's a call to the Department of the Comptrollers, the Tennessee Department of the Treasury, where it states that this cause that involves the police chief, Celeste Murphy, and now Mr. Dan Carruthers, the former coach Jennings, the former seat in District 6, is in Ray, which means that your city council, the courts, as we've had it, the county, including the county attorney, Reuben M. Taylor, you all have violated the entire Constitution of the United States. You have turned back the Civil Rights Act of 1964, worse than anyone that's been applying, not the United States Constitution of the United States, but Confederate laws. That's Jefferson Davis and his regime. These include states like South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, those states, that you've been applying illegal tactics against citizens. 211 billion, 34 million. It's not a request, it's a demand. The United States Constitution does not have a bill of privileges, it has a bill of rights. And you all have violated the due process and the equal protection of the laws against citizen money bail. The only black candidate that registered for the office of the city mayor, and we'll see you next week.
Anyone else that would like to address the council this afternoon? Anyone else? Council, I am not seeing anyone else. What is your privilege? So moved, we're adjourned.